Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of On Air, my Beatles collection. In the last week or so, I've been showing you some of these box sets containing bootlegs, counterfeits, pirates, all the above. This is the last of the series that I was planning to show you, and this is referred to as the Americas Archive. And so that means they're from all over the Western Hemisphere, pretty much, with the exception of Canada. And there's actually some that probably don't belong in a box called the Americas Archive, which I'll explain as I go forward. But this is the last of the series that I was planning to show you for now, and I'll be getting into some more unofficial product later on. So for starters, there are 5 titles that are de Mexico. So the first is Conozca the Beatles. Conozca the Beatles. Of course, that's with the Beatles, or it's Meet the Beatles. In this case, it is Meet the Beatles. And all the titles and the liner notes are in Espanol. And the disc is on a capital label, but also in Espanol. So it sounds the same. Some of these are remixed. I'll show you the ones that specifically say remix on them. I don't think any of these from Mexico do say that. Here we have Version original de la película Help. Again, in Espanol. Here's the capital label for that. Also in Espanol. And these all, sound the same as the official UK versions, and this is the UK version of Help, I believe. Let me see. It's very, very small print. I'm going to take out my trusty magnifying glass. Actually, this is the American version, because it does have the George Martin instrumental tracks on it. So it is, if you look real closely, you might be able to see that if you pause the screen. They're in English and Espanol. The next one here is the Beatles Volume 2, which looks a lot like Beatles 65. All the song titles there are in Spanish, as they are on the back. A little tricky to work with my rubber gloves, but I don't want to mess these up. So again, Beatles Volume 2. Here they have the titles in Spanish and in English. So, again, there's nothing new musically on these, but, they're still kind of fun to have. The covers alone are unique. Here's the Beatles Volume 3. You can see the song titles there, also in Spanish. These are all de Mexico, all Mexican. And again, the capital label kind of looks the same. Again, all the titles are in Spanish. And last but not least, for the ones from Mexico, these are Versiones Originales de la Película, and that would of course be From a Hard Day's Night. You see the titles there. in Spanish. And in the back they have the titles in Spanish and parentheses in English, along with the adverts for other albums, other mostly non-Beatles albums. And then this is the volume 4 disc. Again, the titles are in English and Spanish. In this case, they're in English first and Spanish second. Again, I like these for the unique covers. Not so much unique sound. And generally I don't play this version because I have many other choices. But it's kind of nice to have them with a little different cover. Now, for some reason, we're talking about the Americas in this box set, but next in the box here is the Beatles in Italy. Of course, the implication with this title was that it was the Beatles live in Italy, but of course it is not a live album and never was a live album. It's basically a compilation. They use a Parlophone made in Italy EMI label for this one. I don't know if you can tell that's actually blue. It's not just silver color, it's blue. I'm trying to show you, but it's hard to do. And the titles, of course, are in English on this. And then here's the back cover. So again, there's nothing on here that indicates anything to do with the Americas. If anything, the Parte Prima and Parte Seconda indicate Italian, but I don't know. Bootlegs, pirates, counterfeits, whatever you want to call them, they don't worry about those kind of details sometimes. The next two, Abbey Road, here the titles are in English, no reference to Her Majesty. And this is from Brasil. And they use the Apple label here. The titles are all in English. The credits around the outer edge of the label are not in English. And there's a reference to Brazil in there. Otherwise, again, the album is the same. And then the next one from Brazil is Let It Be. This one I found to be unique in that, I'll show you why in a minute, on the label. Because on the label it says mono. So a mono version of Let It Be. That has to be a fold down. I don't think there's a mono version of Let It Be other than a fold down from the stereo, probably. I'm not sure. I haven't actually listened to this one. And again, this is supposed to replicate a Brazilian version of Let It Be. So again, I'm not sure why that would be in mono, but I doubt that it's really mono. I'm assuming it's a fold down from stereo. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 don't seem to have anything to do with the Americas. So I'm not sure why they're in this box. But this is, first one is With the Beatles. Okay. And it's in stereo. And there's no reference to any country in the Western Hemisphere. There's nothing on the disc itself. There's no different languages or anything on the disc. But it does say With the Beatles. So, but here's the only difference. Underneath the catalog number, you'll see the word remix. So it's a remix. So I may have to check that out and give you a comment down in the comments section after I take a look at that. This one I'm real happy to have. This is the Beatles live in Washington. That would be the first U.S. concert at the Washington Coliseum in 1964 during the Beatles' first visit here. We got snippets of this in the recent Disney Plus Beatles 64 video, but it really was just snippets. This is the whole show. So that's pretty cool to have. Again, I guess America's counts for that. And here's the actual CD. Of course, there was no such Capitol album in the U.S., so I guess this classifies as a straight bootleg since it was never released in any other form that I'm aware of officially. And then there's two copies of Yesterday and Today, both with the alternate cover. The first one is in mono. So here's that one. And that goes with this cover. And then the second one is in stereo. And that goes with this cover. No difference in the track listing. The back of each of these looks pretty much exactly the same. I just wanted to check one more thing before I moved on. Here is Rubber Soul. Sorry, Rubber Soul. The reason I did that awkwardly is because if I flip it over, it's sideways. So I started it by holding it in my hand this way. So anyway, and this is on the Parlophone label, not the Capitol label. So this is, straight from Britain, except this one says remix on it. So these are not that new. So this is not, like the Giles Martin remix or anything like that. These are from I won't say several years ago. They're probably from 3 or 4 years ago. And again, I don't know why it's in a box called the America's Archive, but still nice to have. So got a remix version of Rubber Soul, and right behind it is its cousin Revolver. This has the Parlophone reference at the bottom, so it's not the Capitol version. And this one does not have the words remix on it. So again, I'm not really sure why these are in the box this way. I want to take a quick look at the titles here. Yeah, it starts with Taxman, and it's got the 14 tracks. So this is definitely the UK version. And last but not least in this set is Live at the Hollywood Bowl. This I want to see if I can see the print on this. This print is all in English, and I don't think there's any reference to any non-US country. Oh, that's just a stereo version of Live at the Hollywood Bowl. I just found one more that didn't make my initial handful, and that is this one, Please Please Me, in stereo. And this has the vintage Parlophone stereo label, and this one does say remix on it, if you can see that. So again, I'm kind of intrigued by the remix word being on there. I had not really noticed that until recently, and I haven't had a chance to listen to these, but specifically the ones that say remix, I'm curious about. So anyway, that is the last of these boxes that I've been talking about recently. This one is the American Archive. I've already showed you the Parlophone Archive, Part 2. I've showed you the American Archives, Part 1 and 3. And I've shown you the German Archive, which also included one disc from Holland and one from Russia, which I got some clarification on that from one of our subscribers who commented on that. I wasn't sure. I wasn't familiar with either one. In that set, the Beatles' hottest hits, where they're wearing heavy winter parkas, that's the one from Holland. And then there was, I think that's the one from Holland. And then I forget which one was from Russia. But when I presented it, none of the print was in a language I understood, and I took it to be Russian, and I said that at the time. But I was confused by the fact that it was in a box called the German Archives. So anyway, thank you to whoever helped me out with that in the comments. But this is the last of those style boxes, and I have done 5 others. There's the empty box. I have all the CDs in front of me here. And so that's the last of these for now. I have many more boxes like this that have 14, 15, 16 CDs in them. More often than not, they're either different in some way than the LP version, or there never was a CD version, or they never existed in any other form, vinyl or CD, until they were put in these unofficial box sets. And a lot of these I also have on individual CDs, both in the mini LP format and also in the jewel case format. But as I've said several times in all the other videos, it's great to have them all in this one box. And as long as I remember what's in each box, there's no titles on the end. And of course, when you put the CDs in there, there's no titles this way either. So sometimes, and there's none on either side of the box. So sometimes it's hard to remember what's in where. I have to think, what country is it first? Oh, if it's Mexico, it's in this one. If it's German, it's pretty easy. But all the others, you're not sure exactly what's in what box. And sometimes what's in the box has no relevance to the title on the box. Because that's kind of the way that whole industry tends to work. So I have a bunch more of these, but I'm gonna lay off them for a while. I'm gonna try to mix up the videos for a while. I might get some memorabilia in here in the next couple of weeks. I'd probably get some more vinyl, some more bootlegs, some more rarities. So if you like the channel, please like the video, comment, and certainly if you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. Help us grow the site and have some more fun. And I look forward to seeing you again next time around. So thanks for stopping by. Take care. Bye.